You are watching Luntha television and it's time for news. My name is Helbert Katanda, our top stories. Pope Francis expresses the importance of Virgin Mary to the Catholic community. Affordable Inputs Program MESS draws public attention. Isama expresses concern over MANEP's refusal to extend registration period. And in international news, Malema accuses Ramaphosa of undermining the USA Constitution. We have these and more other stories to stay tuned in. Pope Francis celebrated Mass in Spanish in St. Peter's Basilica on Monday to mark the feast of Our Lady of Guadalupe, patroness of the Americas and the unborn. In his homily, the Pope explained that just as the Virgin Mary was present to the indigenous people of Mexico nearly 500 years ago, she's with us today. He said Our Lady of Guadalupe wants to meet us too, as she did with one Diego rather, on the hill of Tiepac, while beginning as to allow her to be our mother, to open our lives to her son Jesus, and to welcome his message so as to learn to love him. We have the details.
The Virgin of Guadalupe appeared to Saint Juan Diego on the hill of Tepeyac in Mexico City in 1531 during a time of conflict between the Spanish and the indigenous people. Pope Francis said the Virgin Mary came to accompany the American people on this hard road of poverty, exploitation, socio-economic and cultural colonialism. He then said she is the midst of the caravans that are walking northward in search of freedom, and in the midst of the American people whose identity is threatened by a savage and exploitative paganism wanted by the active preaching of a practical and pragmatic atheism. When she appeared to Juan Diego, Mary took the appearance of a pregnant native woman, wore clothing in the style of the indigenous community, and spoke in a native language. Pope Francis said Our Lady of Guadalupe came to the blessed lands of America, presenting herself as the mother of the true God for whom we live, and she came to console, to attend to the needs of the little ones without excluding anyone, to embrace them as a caring mother with her presence, love, and consolation.
Reports indicate that smallholder farmers are told to pay extra 5,000 kwacha for them to access the product. The incidences have been reported in Luntha, Chirimba Smallholder Farmers Fertilizer Revolving Fund of Malawi, in Lilongwe at Natenje, and some parts of Kasungu district. Sources in these spots have confided in us that they were told to pay 5,000 kwacha to access the cheap fertilizer. Meanwhile, the Minister of Agriculture, Sam Kawale, is in United States of America, and when we sought his comment, his phone could not be reached. The Ministry of National Unity, through its government citizen engagement platform dubbed as Pabwalo, has today stressed on the need for all relevant stakeholders to participate in addressing mental health issues and vandalism in the country. The platform today brought together officials from Malawi Police Service, St. John's of God Hospital Services, and Ministry of Energy, who clarified on issues of election. Minister of National Unity Timothy Mtambo hinted that it is important for governments to engage the public as a way of ensuring transparency and accountability on matters of national importance. Bernard Mwanza reports.
Through Pabwalo platform, which started in 2021, the ministry is reaching out to the general public on matters that do concern them that need government's clarification. Minister of National Unity Timothy Mtambo emphasized that when government is more transparent and accountable to its people, the public too develops much trust, which is key in development as the country moves towards achieving Malawi 2030 agenda.
We have invested a lot in other health issues. For instance, HIV/AIDS, and we're doing very well as a country. We have done very well even on COVID-19. The same energy we have done in investing in these areas, we should also invest in mental health.
On issues of vandalism, which affects a number of sectors, National Police spokesperson Peter Kalaya said, as police, they are currently revamping community policing services to ensure that community members are having a responsibility to care for the services around them. Commenting on issues of mental health, psychiatric clinical officer at St. John of God Hospital Services, Mark Chalamanda, attributed the rise in suicide cases to financial problems, depression and anxiety, alcohol and drug abuse, among others. He, however, expressed optimism that the country can control the situation if more resources are channeled into the fight.
Firstly, we need to have enough psychotropics or medications that treat mental health problems. There are a few hospitals in Malawi with adequate or enough medications that treat mental health problems. And for conditions like depression, we have more than 10 different types of antidepressants. And most hospitals have only one type. And where clients react to such a medicine, what else would they take?
Meanwhile, the ministry has committed to keep engaging the citizens on all matters that need duty-bearers' attention to facilitate a clear understanding and enhance transparency. For Luntha News in Lilongwe, I am Bernard Mwanza.
Parliament has today passed the Presidential, Parliamentary and Local Government Elections Bill of 2022, which seeks to enact legal framework for the regulation of presidential, parliamentary and local government elections in Malawi and consolidate the Parliamentary and Presidential Elections Act and the Local Government Elections Act. While presenting the bill in Parliament, Minister of Justice Titus Simvaro said the act has been passed with several amendments, including the provision of detailed procedure for second poll in a presidential election, where no candidate manages to achieve majority of more than 50% in the first poll. According to Simvaro, duration for the announcement of presidential, parliamentary and local government election results from the last polling day has also been amended. Harinafi Piri reports.
Among other amendments, the bill proposes to have the polling day as a public holiday to improve voters' turnout. According to the Minister of Justice, Titus Mvalo, the bill further proposes that presidential election results be announced within 8 days from the last polling day, while parliamentary and local government results be announced within 14 days and 21 days from the last polling day, respectively.
So the announcement is immediate. But what is gazetting? Gazetting now takes a bit of time. If you put it the same period for all the 3 elections, it will be very difficult to have that capacity to be able to gazette all those for the 3 elections together within the same period.
Speaking to journalists after passing the bill, spokesperson for Democratic Progressive Party DPP on legal matters, Yusuf Ntenda, said they are in support of the bill.
We are happy because I was part of the the Legal Affairs Committee, where all the proposed amendments were scrutinized, and we gave them all the attention that they needed.
In his remarks as they debated on the bill, Leader of the House, Richard Chimwendo Banda, who is also the Member of Parliament for Doa East, proposed an increase in the nomination fees that candidates pay to Malawi Electoral Commission MEC to go up to 5 million kwacha to avoid individuals who wishes to contest in an election because of low fees. However, Machinga East legislator Esther Jolobala spoke against Chimwendo's proposal, saying raising the fees will affect female candidates who already struggle to raise the fees, but Chimwendo responded that women are always supported as their current nomination fee is half of what men are paying. The bill has been amended in order to improve credibility and efficiency in the conduct of elections in Malawi. Reporting for Luntha News, this is Alina Feperi.
Independent School Association of Malawi has expressed its concern over Malawi National Examination Board's indirect refusal to extend the deadline for registration and payment of Malawi School Certificate of Education examination fee. Isama President Wycliffe Chimwendo said it is not a timely wise decision for MANEB not to extend the registration payment period because most Malawians are facing economic hardships. Meanwhile, the Malawi National Examination Board and the Ministry of Education have neither confirmed nor denied if they would be extending the period. Hope Kambeta reports.
The appeal has been made after the release of a press statement by MANEB on deadline for registration and payment of examination fee. Chimwendo said it is not a timely-wise decision since it will not provide ample time for those who want to relight the Malawi School Certificate Education examination. He added that they could have extended with 1 or 2 weeks because the 2022 MSc examination results have just been released a few weeks ago, and the extension would have given chances to a lot of repeaters to relight the examination since most Malawians are facing economic hardships.
It has affected us because Isama is a voice of the independent schools. The issue is to do with the repeaters, those that are going to write again MSCE. They need to be given the time to prepare. We're talking about access to education, we're talking about ample time for people to prepare. So if there isn't ample time to prepare, those that wanted to go back to school may not have that chance. So it's unfortunate that MANEB has decided to go ahead with their area plans, but they should have heard the voice from those that are pleading with them to consider extension of the registration.
Concurring with Chimwendo, education expert Island Ntambo said the decision will deeply affect candidates, especially those from rural areas who depend on piecework to get money for their school fees. So an extension of 1 or 2 weeks would have been better off to many candidates.
Obviously, that declaration by MANEB will affect the education very, very negatively indeed, because most of the poor people are found in the rural parts of the country and are struggling to actually find money. And they get that money through piecework. You can imagine for them to realize maybe 60,000, 70,000, 20,000, 25,000, it's not as easy as ABC. They should have extended for a week or 2. It's very, very important. And at this particular point in time, we have what I may say an economic crisis in the country. It's not easy for an ordinary Malawian to find money.
However, the statement from MANEB indicates that the deadline for registration and payment fee for 2023 MSCE examination is 16th December 2022. The board has further reminded that the registration of candidates is being done online at MANEB-approved examination centers. For Luntha Television News, this is Hope Kambeta.
The Malawi Communications Regulatory Authority has moved to meet all broadcasters in the country as a way of tackling issues affecting the broadcasting industry. Speaking during the National Broadcasters Conference earlier today in Lilongwe, MACRA Board Chairperson Dr. Stanley Kaila said the expansion of the broadcasting industry leaves a lot to be desired as challenges rocking it are numerous. The conference has attracted media managers across the country. Bernard Mwanza reports.
According to MACRA, the first thing that all media institutions need to consider is professionalism in all their activities to ensure that they are not misleading the public in terms of fake news. MACRA Board Chairperson Dr. Stanley Kaila said the conference will, among others, help not to work in isolation as the industry is becoming big each passing day. He further highlighted that the increase in the industry justifies that freedom of expression is being respected, hence a need for unified regulation of the industry.
If this country is going to provide people with the information that is good for development, it is important for us to engage broadcasters to make sure that they are doing the right thing.
Meanwhile, MACRA has emphasized on the need for the media institutions to oblige to the license fees to avoid facing the music. MACRA Director General Daud Suleiman said they will keep monitoring how the broadcasters are carrying out their activities to avoid compromising the country's democracy. On his part, Father David Nwagaba, Managing Director of Luntha Television, said they expect a good coordination between them as broadcasters and MACRA officials for smooth operations of the industry.
That we have broadcasting that is not interrupted. The signal interruption in this country, when it happens, you find it takes so long. You find for even 6 hours, so moment that there is no signal transmission. I would expect that this is addressed in this conference.
During this first ever National Broadcasters Conference, it was also revealed that MACRA is in the process of procuring a state-of-the-art monitoring machine to increase regulation capacity. For Luntha News in Lilongwe, I am Bernard Mwanza.
You're still watching news right here on Luntha Television, coming to you live from Bishop Navy Media Center in Area 2, Lilongwe. Now a recap of our top stories before we proceed. Pope Francis expresses the importance of Virgin Mary to the Catholic community. Affordable Inputs Program MES draws public attention. Isama expresses concern over MANEP's refusal to extend registration period. And in international news, Malema accuses Ramaphosa of undermining the USA Constitution. Moving on, agricultural expert Horace Piri has called on farmers to promote collective farming through cooperatives, farmers' organizations and unions to make the mechanization work in Malawi for increased production. In an interview on Monday, Piri said the mechanization eliminates the back-breaking burden on smallholder farmers, uses less labor to cultivate sufficient land, and improves quality of work output. According to Piri, machines achieve the desired results with greater efficiency, lowering cost of operations, and without effective mechanization. Charity Chilanga reports.
The Malawi 2063 long-term vision targets the youth in commercializing agriculture and promoting industrialization to encourage rural and economic growth and urbanization. Malawi has an enabling environment for mechanization, including the National Agriculture Policy of 2016 and the Agricultural Investment Plan launched in 2018. According to agriculture expert Horace Piri, there is a need to strengthen the extension system to facilitate the use of mechanization among smallholder farmers. He said promoting land consolidation among smallholder farmers is critical for cost efficiency when it comes to operating machinery such as tractors and combine harvesters.
So my expectation is that we need to look for means that will ensure that The technology is available, the machinery is available in the country, but now should be accessed through commercial means. So for instance, there is talk about having farmers that are operating in cooperatives. So if you are in a cooperative, then you can access or purchase equipment as a cooperative, and you have farmer groups or several farmers accessing equipment via that channel.
Perry further said mechanization contributes to food security because there is a proper utilization of land and achievement in efficiency in terms of production and growing food that would treat the nation. For Luntha Television News in Lilongwe, this is Charity Chilanga reporting.
Malawi Economic Justice Network on Monday made an impassioned appeal to religious leaders and faith-based organizations to take advantage of the pulpits and the influence they wield in the society to propagate economic development. Merging Board Chairperson Bishop Martin Nanwem Tumbuka made the remarks on the sidelines of a two-day training workshop for faith leaders on policy and budget analysis. Bishop Ntumbuka has since asked religious leaders to complement government efforts in promoting values and beliefs that enhance development of upholding peace and unity. We have a report.
Bishop Ntumbuka's appeal comes amid rising concerns from various denominations regarding the country's current economic status, which is parked in tatters. The bishop said religious leaders have the power to change the mindset of people. Hence, they need to lead by example in various development activities.
In advancing or promoting the well-being of the most vulnerable in our society, religious leaders should not be distracted by anything. There are many things, there are many challenges in any society, but one thing from which we should not be distracted is fighting for the well-being of the most vulnerable in our society.
In his remarks, Presidential Advisor on Religious Affairs, Brian Kamwendo, said religious leaders have a wide base of followers and their primacy has a huge feasibility to achieve Malawi's economic goals. He said the demography shows that the faith community comprises of 98.5%, a development which outlines their role in development.
The religious leaders are very critical in this nation of Malawi, especially as it pertains to faith sector and the state collaboration. And for the Malawi Economic Justice Network to build in the capacity in the leaders of the faith communities, it is quite paramount, because it actually helps in socio-economic development of this nation, especially as it comes from the faith community.
Majan organized the workshop with financial and technical support from NORAD, Danida through the Norwegian Church Aid and Dan Church Aid. The organization is implementing a 5-year social accountability project titled Fighting Inequalities in the Social Sectors. The project is being implemented at both national and international level, with Mangochi being the beneficiary district.
The Central Region Police has put in place measures to be used to deal with the habit of theft and car accidents as the festive season approaches. Speaking with Luntha Television, Central Region Police spokesperson Alfred Chintere said they have put in place several ways, including patrols. Priska Promise Mashushu reports.
In his remarks, Chintere said that Central Region Police is working together with radio and television stations in order to inform the audiences about their safety by reducing overspeeding and unnecessary traveling during Christmas season. He said police officers will make sure that no accidents or attacks has been made to people moving from one place to another during this season.
Someone very live ammunitions, and is now in custody. And also our community policing branch has been doing some sensitization and awareness to the communities so that they are able to understand, like the taxi drivers who have been prone to attack. Some hijackers, they have been late so that that's improving the security. So we're doing a lot of exercises and strategies so that civil become the success.
So far, Malawians have been urged to minimize traveling, especially during Christmas season, in order to prevent unnecessary accidents and also theft that is likely to occur in the process. Christmas is celebrated by Christians on the 25th December every year as a way of celebrating the birth of Jesus Christ. For Luntha TV, this is Priska from Mashushu.
And now in sports, Football Association of Malawi has released a list of nominees for the 2022 FDH Bank Cup Individual Players Awards. The 4 awards up for grabs are the Player of the Tournament, Discovery of the Tournament, Best Goalkeeper, and Top Goal Scorer. The latter was already claimed by Nyasa Big Bullet striker Babatunde Adebochu, who scored 5 goals. Adebochu is also in contention for the Player of the Tournament award, which he will compete with teammate Chimwemwe Idana and Nyasa Big Bullet's reserve midfielder Chikumbutsu Salima. And now in news from elsewhere, the firebrand leader of South Africa's opposition Economic Freedom Fighters Party has accused President Cyril Ramaphosa of rallying his party's legislators to frustrate the process set to hold him accountable for having possibly violated his oath of office. In his contribution to a debate about damning panel report that found that Ramaphosa may have breached his oath of office for failing to report a theft at his private farm, Marema said instead of using the process of impeachment inquiry to clear his name, Ramaphosa mobilized his party to fight against an attempt to discover the truth. The scandal erupted in June, where a former South African spy boss, Arthur Fraser, filed a complaint with police accusing the president of hiding a theft of $4 million in cash from his Palapala game farm in 2020. Well, that also concludes our today's news bulletin. But before we go, a reminder of our top stories. Pope Francis expresses the importance of Virgin Mary to the Catholic community. Affordable Inputs Program MES draws public attention. Isama expresses concern over MANEP's refusal to extend registration period. And in international news, Malema accuses Ramaphosa of undermining the SA constitution. Thanks for watching. My name is Helbert Katan. It's goodbye for now.